ripping the coal from the guts of the earth in a mine down in Cape Breton, pulling cod from the North Atlantic in some trawler off St. John's, working the waterfront docks of Halifax, picking spuds on P.E. Island, working the bush lands of New Brunswick. The East Coast way of life goes on. The East Coast way of life is hard as hell, and the men are even harder with blistered hands and aching backs. They try to keep their families fed. Some think East Coast folk are backward. Some like me didn't get much schooling. But I'll tell you one thing, mister, they raise hard-working men. They raise hard-working men. There was a cave-in in some colliery. Some of the miners can't be found. A raging storm on the icy waters. One more trawler just went down. A busted sling just killed some dockhand. Some farmers' crops wiped out with blight. A load of logs somehow has shifted, snuffing out some bushman's life. Yeah, the East Coast way of life is hard as hell. The men are even harder with blistered hands and aching backs. They try to keep their families fed. Some think East Coast folk are backward. Some like me didn't get much school. But I'll tell you one thing, mister, they raise hard-working men. They raise hard-working men. Perhaps someday the Cape Breton miners will sit back and push some buttons. Perhaps someday the North Atlantic will give up its fish to mechanical hands. Perhaps someday the waterfront docks will no longer need the strength of the stevedores. Perhaps someday the farmers and bushmen will have computers make all their plans. But that's perhaps, and that's someday, and this is now. And right now, the East Coast way of life is hard as hell. The men are even harder with blistered hands and aching backs. They try to keep their families fed. Some think East Coast folk are backward. Some like me didn't get much schooling. But I'll tell you one thing, mister, they raise hard-working men. They raise hard